I ran into the mayor on the way over today, and he told me 2 riddles. The first was the name of my wife. The second is still a mystery to me.
Well done.
I'll need you to check the waveform when I get back to this.
Yeah, you got it.
Jesus Christ, man.
Welcome to Taking Credit For. It's time for a podcast. We're going to be talking about a lot of things today, a lot of hot topic issues. It's me, Scott. I'm joined by, follow me to my left,
Matt Herring, and as always, it's good to be here. To my left. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I thought you were going to throw me in.
No,
but
I
guess
should
not.
have.
It's fine.
I'm Ben. It's okay to be here.
God damn it, Ben.
Yeah, I'm Lucas. I'm here too. I do things.
These are the guys that are featured in the end title card on the channel right now. So you know them well. We got together today to talk about Pokemon starters. There's a dog barking outside. I hope the microphone didn't pick that
It's a
up.
Pokemon.
Shit, let's go catch
It's
it.
Growlithe! But Gen 8 just got announced recently.
So stoked on that.
Yeah. And so we are talking about, I guess, our preferences, our personal impositions on what is the best generation of Pokemon.
Yeah,
So-
well, I do want to say just about Generation 8, it's the first time I looked at the starters and thought, man, none of these are terrible since
Yeah.
Gen 3.
Yes.
See, for me, it's that since Gen 5.
You liked all the starters up till Gen 5.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would like to echo Matt's concern because this is the first generation that looks great since Gen 3 to me also.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, fuck you, Gen 5.
Yeah, dude, I like Gen 5 a lot. The Snivy, or as he was known before his name was announced, Smugleaf. I love that he's a snake that evolves to lose his limbs. I think that's dope.
He's just a green bean.
It's still good. As far as starters go, he's one of the most unique.
So that's interesting that you like Snivy because I know that Lucas has opinions on Snivy.
He is.
That's
I will
my
admit,
opinion. He's a green bean.
He's not the best starter, but like I like him. He's a good starter. I wasn't disappointed to see him as the grass starter.
Honestly, the one that upsets me most about Generation 5 is actually Tepig, not Snivy.
But also
Yeah, fuck that fucking pig.
Mhm.
also pre-cooked bacon though.
Well, I mean, he's just, like, the design for Tepig is just Fire Spoink.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair, but I would argue that Spoink is adorable.
Sure, I mean,
And
just
there's
it lacks
nothing
points for
wrong with
originality.
Fire.
We didn't need it twice.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's true. But again, like I just like them. Like I like pigs. I like fire. I like fire pigs.
All right,
That's cool.
Tell you what, defend Turtwig to me real quick, and then we can move on.
Turtwig evolves into that goddamn Torterra thing, which is literally the like trope of like the giant turtle with like the world on its back.
No, I'll give. Look.
No,
I'll-
hey, hold on.
I'll
Sorry,
give-
I'm gonna cut you off.
Go
I'm gonna cut
nuts,
you
go
off.
nuts.
Don't you fucking dare talk to me about the turtle with the world on its back because Stephen King was on way too much cocaine for that to ever make sense.
That's fair, but like it's still a dope concept, and grass ground is a neat type.
Okay, but the counterpoint to that Pokemon then is Pennywise the Dancing Clown. That's terrible.
I'm shrugging.
He's shrugging.
I'm
for,
shrugging.
For those of you.
Yeah,
at
well,
home.
I also do like Torterra. It's still just Turtwig that I have the issue with.
Okay. So when we talk about starters,
right
are we
now
doing
we're just talking about starters.
just the first
Yeah,
starters.
Currently, we can open this discussion up later, but right now we are talking about starters.
Okay, in that case, Turtwig helps round out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles team.
Interesting defense. An interesting defense. We'll move on. I like the defense. Look at you that much.
All right, should we do like a round table on? Should we open with what's your sort of strata of the generations? Like, is that a good
Just
starting point?
like how familiar you are with like the series at large, or
No, like where you place each one in sort of a strata
Okay,
of
sure.
quality.
I say we jump to that after we do just our breakdown of the Gen 8 starters.
All right. I like that because it also gives me time to open up the discussion that I had about the starters in the group chats. That's cool. All right, so we've got Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble. These are the starters. Grookey is seeming like sort of a monkey grass type. Scorbunny is
The monkey type.
You know the monkey type.
Everyone's favorite.
Scorbunny is a rabbit, and it seems to be fire type. We don't know what it's going to grow into. Might be something good.
It
And
might
then
also be something very bad.
It might be firefighting.
Again.
But then we've got Sobble, which is the water type, and he's a tadpole, and I love him. He's very good. So, anyways.
I think there's an obvious front runner, and it's Sobble.
I thought Sobble was like a chameleon, not a tadpole.
He is a chameleon.
He's a chameleon. You're right. Sorry, I misspoke.
Because we already have Froakie. Don't you know the Froakie?
Don't
know
you-
Greninja's
Who
cool.
was it?
Fucking
It was you,
talk to
wasn't
me
it?
about
You
Froakie.
hate Froakie.
Froakie's... Don't get me...
He's got bubbles on his face that look like eyeglasses. That's adorable.
I'll bring this up when we start talking about the other starters. So,
I actually like Scorbunny of Generation 8. I
Yeah.
would like Scorbunny more if Scorbunny's name was anything else.
Fair.
yeah, it's,
But,
I mean,
but.
it's almost Litten.
So Scorbunny is like it's deeper than Litten. It goes deeper because Scorbunny.
No,
he's
sorry,
a bunny.
I just mean naming convention-wise.
'Cause-
it sounds
sure.
similar.
But it's like score is like, it's like something you do with heat, right? You can score something. But also, he kind of looks like a soccer player. And when you shoot at the net,
Interesting.
you
You
score
score.
points.
Thank you. I'm not a sports person, so I'm glad that you.
Yeah,
brought
well,
me there. Thank you.
I feel the need to like clarify. So
I don't know. Great. That's fair. My issue is actually with the bunny part, just because just throwing bunny at the end just kind of feels like a little bit lame as far as naming convention.
and it does kind of open up that kind of like that sort of world of like, are there actual bunnies? Like Scorbunny, like are there real bunnies that Scorbunny is named after?
Oh yeah, that's a good
Oh,
question.
I'll be
yeah.
honest.
Does it follow the credo? Like, we've got bunnies, this over here is the score. Like,
Yeah, and then it's like Tepig as well. Like Tepig's like that too. Are there regular pigs?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, even Squirtle. It's like, do we have turtles?
Yeah, or
Is this
Turtwig.
Or
is this the
squirrels.
squirtiest turtle?
Ugh, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Pokemon generally gets around that, in my opinion, just because Pokemon say their own name. So,
True.
so you name them after what they say.
Okay,
But they only
Although-
say their own name in the anime.
No,
or
for
if
sure.
they're Pikachu.
Okay,
and you have like Staryu and Starmie who just go, Hiya!
Yeah,
Alright, so
they're just-
Luke's got a thing.
So Alex Hirsch, the guy who made Gravity Falls, he renamed them, and he renamed the bunny Hot Buns, and I actually like that
That's
better.
pretty good,
that's
actually.
a lot better.
That's cute as fuck.
And
I
then he
like
named
that.
Grookey Bamboon, which I also
Oh,
like.
That's so
That's
good!
very
And then he
good.
named
Shit.
and then Sadpole.
Sad Paul.
God damn it, Alex
I
Hirsch!
kind of like those better, to be honest. Just naming convention.
I don't know.
It's
Sobble has like a nice little
But
thing
like,
to it.
Sadpole is actually
Sad Paul.
my
Sad Paul's.
God.
I feel is a little too on the nose though.
Fair. I mean, but also Squirtle, the squirty turtle.
Yeah, I mean,
Counterpoint,
that's
yeah.
totally fair.
Isn't it
Goddamn.
Squirrel Turtle because it has a squirrely tail?
That's the point.
I mean,
yes.
you can go many different ways with
Yeah.
that.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if Bamboon, it turns out to be one of the names of the later
Like the evolutions,
later
yeah.
evolutions. Yeah.
Well,
That would be dope.
Have
I'd
you
be
guys
down with that.
heard the theories on the starters? Is that they each represent a sort of subset of British culture. So Scorbunny is obviously soccer, football.
Sure.
Grookey would be like punk rock
Oh,
because
interesting.
he starts off drumming, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
alright.
and-
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, and
alright.
he's got kind of like a rebellious attitude kind
I
of
like
thing.
that.
And I forget exactly what Scorbunny was, but
No,
I was
you already
I was
said what
born
Scorbunny was.
No, not Scorbunny.
Sobble.
Sobble. But I was born and raised in England, so I can only imagine it's being sad because it rains all the goddamn time.
Yeah. There was this great episode of Mad Men where John Hamm's character got approached by a company that was called London Fog, and they were like, we need to rebrand. And he said, why? And they were like, because there's no goddamn fog in London! I thought that was really funny, but also there's a lot of fog in London, so
There's
that's
a
not
lot
like,
of fog in London.
that's not like a good bit.
That's fair. But yeah, I forget what Sobbles was supposed to be, but
That's an interesting
That is
theory,
interesting.
yeah.
I posted the there's this meme where it's instead of being Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, it's Pokemon Dog and Pokemon Another Dog. I'll slap that in the video feed. But a lot of people responded to that when I posted it, and they were like, I hope that generic dog Pokemon for this generation is a Corgi.
it has to
I was
be,
like,
right?
it's fucking gotta be, right?
What else
Like,
could it be?
It can't not be a Corgi.
And the queen has
And
to
they're-
be the champion.
And they already
Exactly.
used like
Oh, that's
the
interesting.
bulldog with Snubbull and Gramble. So you
Yeah,
can use,
they
like,
could,
British
they could use
bulldog.
those. They
Like,
could even
it's-
do regional variants. Like,
Yeah.
they could do like a British
Oh
bulldog
my
version.
God.
the way they've done Alolan whatevers, like
Yeah.
they could do.
like a Golurk from Gen 5, but it's like a ghostly suit of armor.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like,
that'd be dope as hell.
Speaking of armor, there's also a rumor that Gen 8's going to introduce armored Pokemon as their like new quote-unquote Mega Evolution. So when I first saw that, I had Luke's face right now, which is kind of like weird. But I was looking at the article and was like, oh, I don't feel so good about this. And they showed a picture of Mewtwo in his like original armor from the first movie. And I'm like,
what, really?
And I'm like, oh, right, that there is a precedent for this.
You're just immediately sold on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, in the Lucario and the Mystery of Moo movie, there's like a flashback to like a big battle, and there's a Charizard in like full armor.
Yeah, that was the other image that they showed in the article.
That's actually super cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But then they also have Pokemon like Argon, I believe, is the armored Pokemon. And it's like, what happens to him?
Yeah, like the little metal guy with the...
Yeah. Does he get more armor?
God, I saw this great... It was like the transcription of the whole what weighs more, a ton of lead or a ton of feathers. And it was like a Pokemon version of that where it was like, what weighs more, a ton of steel or a ton of feathers? And somebody had like a bunch of Swablu's and like one single Aeron.
Yeah.
And they're like, but... They weigh the same!
Going back to the armor thing, armored Marowak.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Does that mean Alolan Marowak was sweet?
Yeah,
I want to see an armored Marowak.
I love it. I like that. Alright, so, sorry. We've done some moving around in this conversation.
It's a good topic.
Yeah, right? So, as far as the starters are concerned, from Gen 8, we've got Sobble, we've got Grookey, and we've got Scorbunny. Matt, I want to start with you. What is your pick?
Scorbunny, although
Scorbunny.
I will nickname the heck out of my Scorbunny.
Yes, yeah. The same way that I nickname my Litten.
Yeah.
His name's Ric Flair.
Oh, nice.
Because he grew up to be a wrestler.
That's very
It's
good.
a good name.
That's very good.
Ben, what's your pick?
Right now, it's Sobble, but I always hold my judgment until I see what they evolve into.
That's, cool. We got to post this before we figure out who they evolve into, because I also do the same thing.
I always start with the water starter. Except in Gen 7, because Popplio to Primarina was not my gem, and also neither was Incineroar, so I was routed for life.
Popplio sucks shit.
That's fair.
Nice to him.
Lucas, what's your pick?
Scorbunny. I'm naming it Big Chungus.
Yeah! He's going to evolve into Big Chungus. I love it.
Just to clarify my earlier point, Sobble is said to either evolve into like a dragon or the Loch Ness monster. So
that'd be sick.
That would be like the UK culture.
I might change my mind then if it's a Loch Ness monster.
Either a dragon or a ghost type.
Yeah.
Is what I'm presuming. Yeah. And it's Sobble. My pick is Sobble.
And then oh man, if they do like Grookey being like punk rock, it could evolve into like a steel, like a steel grass type.
Steel grass type.
It's like metal.
Like yes. Like a fucking Sex Pistols goddamn.
Although it's just another Chestnut at that point, isn't it? Wasn't Chestnut?
Chestnut was fighting, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chestnut was fighting.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, because it countered Greninja's second typing, which was dark.
Right. Okay. Cool.
All right, so, we got that out of the way. Now, is it that we are talking about our favorite generations based on their starters? I think is the...
Yeah, I'm ready to do
thing,
that.
Right?
Why don't we start off, just go like Generation 1 and be like, pick your favorite.
Yeah, fuck yeah. All right.
Just kind of get a feel for where everyone stands.
I respect that. Let's, I'm going to open up my my cheat sheet here. Matthew, do you have yours?
I got a cheat sheet for sure.
All right, cool. Would you like to start?
Don't mind if I do.
So, Generation 1, of course.
I've been Charmander for life. That'll never change.
Strong. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just that's the way you have to understand. When I was a kid, it was like I was like Pokemon faint, no problem. And then they were like, Charmander dies if his tail flame goes out. And I was like, sorry, what? You've been talking about Pokemon faint this whole time. And you're saying my boy's gonna die? So it got to the point where I'm not joking. I put all of my Fire-type Pokemon cards at the front of my book, and all the Water-type cards at the back of my book, just to keep the distance.
Oh my god!
On my Charmander's tail flame.
We put the grass in the middle, and they all just burned.
Yeah.
And the whole book caught on fire, and it was fucked.
I should let the tail flame go up.
Shit. All right, so Charmander, good pick. I love it. Benjamin.
It's Squirtle, like almost the opposite. Like, I picked Squirtle because of how cool he was in the Squirtle Squad episode. The only Pokemon at the time to have worn sunglasses.
Which, I mean, is immediately cool. That's like Horatio Caine cool.
It was the 90s, of course.
Pun after a murder, cool.
Absolutely. So I rock Squirtle. I also had Blue version. And
All
every
right.
version of Pokemon that I've owned, except for Gen 3, where I had Emerald, has been the blue version, or like the quote-unquote
like
blue version.
the dark version,
Or
as opposed
like-
to the light-colored
Yeah.
version, yeah.
Except in Gen 4, I had Pearl. But that's the only time I've like moved off from that. But yeah, Squirtle for
Alright.
life. Also, Wartortle is my favorite Pokemon.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Holy shit, can we actually, before we jump to Lucas, can we open that up? Wartortle is your favorite Pokemon?
Yeah, dude.
Cool.
I mean, like, for a while I thought it was Blastoise, but
Sure.
then I thought about it, and I was just like, nah, it's always been Wartortle.
A second evolution from second gen is also my favorite Pokemon, but I'll wait until it comes around.
Charmander?
No, it's from second
From
gen.
second.
Oh, sorry. Okay, alright.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, yeah,
We'll
wait
get
until it
there.
comes
We'll
there,
get
yeah, for sure. But no, so I feel you.
Lucas?
Charmander.
Alright.
Yeah.
Pokemon Red, first game. I gotta stick with that red motif. I gotta spam the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
Plus,
I
I mean,
love it.
Charizard, he's cool.
He's
a flying
cool as
dragon.
hell.
Super
Exactly.
cool, yeah.
Alright, so this is going to be, we're starting Gen 1, so I got to start from my version of Gen 1. I actually didn't get into Pokemon until Gen 3.
I swear to God, if you say Pikachu.
No. I got in at Gen 3, and it was because Lucas and my older sibling were, like, deep in the fucking paint into Pokemon. Like, they loved it. And I was like, I just didn't have a Pokemon game, and I wasn't playing, and they would, like, talk Pokemon, and I was like, I gotta get into Pokemon! Oh boy! And I got a Gen 3 game, and then I'll talk more about Gen 3 when we get to Gen 3, but I had to retroactively get into Pokemon at that point. Like, I'd watched the cartoon, but I wasn't playing the games, and the two of them were like, Luke, you remember, you and Tony used to talk about the games a lot, and it was...
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a cool thing, and I was like, oh boy, I like Pokemon too. And that was hard to wrap my whole thing around. So, retroactively, of course, Water Starter. Squirtle was my boy.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I was always Squirtle. I'm always a Water Starter. I Squirtle till I die. Blastoise is still the strongest Pokemon I've ever raised, next to another one I'll talk about later in the whole thing. But
Blastoise came out in any other generation, it would be Water Steel, and that's a dope typing.
that would have been rad as fuck. I hope we get that with fucking Sadpole.
I can't believe his Mega Evolution wasn't Water Steel. Like,
Yeah,
they
that
gave
is
secondary
surprising,
types to
actually.
like
Yeah.
so many other Pokemon, and it's like, why aren't you gonna give Blastoise a little bit of metal on him? He's got it. Like, it's there. You can see it.
Fingers crossed for Sadpole.
We'll see what it goes into. Because
Yeah.
if it's Loch Ness Monster, not a lot of metal there. But
Yeah, of course, but like
and Polion,
a lot
that's
to work
that's a
with
good
there.
that's a good steel water
Polion's
Pokemon.
cool, yeah.
But we'll wait till Gen 4 for that.
I guess we will. I don't know about that. Matt. Clean snap. We're going on to Gen 2. Gen 2 is, of course, Totodile,
Cyndaquil and
Cyndaquil, and Chikorita. Thank you.
and I am a Cyndaquil guy, and it's because Quilava is my all-time favorite Pokemon.
Oh shit! I am so stoked that we've hit so many favorite Pokemon already.
Yeah, every time with the exception of the first time I played, I have not evolved my Quilava.
Okay.
I keep him at that. Sucks. He wants to be a Typhlosion. It's all about me. It's not about what my Quilava wants.
And
But yeah, it's pretty much. I didn't actually know what it would look like going into the games.
and I mean, Typhlosion is dope as shit.
It's a
No.
Typhoon Explosion.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Exactly.
sick.
Metal
That
as
is
fuck.
radical.
no shame towards Typhlosion. I just think Quilava rides that perfect line between cute to badass,
Fair.
and
I
just
can-
such respect.
Yeah.
I completely respect that.
Yeah. Good pick. Benjamin.
My Gen 2 starter is always Totodile, but I kind of hate Croconaw. I feel like it brings it back around for Alligator, though.
For sure, I get that.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't like how it's like, all right, you've got this like Totodile, it's like an alligator. It's like you're like, okay, it bites things, that's fine. And then it's like, all right, it evolves into like this bigger alligator that's wearing like
Looks like a caveman.
it's got like a
Yeah.
leopard print
Yeah,
thing.
the weird like
and it's
like butt wrap thing.
yeah,
It's-
like it's got like a loincloth made out of like leopard skin, and you're just like, that's kind of weird. And
What's
then
the leopard it killed?
exactly, then it gets its shit back together when it evolves into Feraligatr.
For alligators.
My
dope as
understanding of that was it was trying to do like a dinosaur thing.
Oh, okay, I get
So
that.
it's like they're trying to do caveman, so it looks like the Flintstones.
fuck. Okay.
Mm.
Alright.
I still agree Crocodile looks not great.
I would
Yeah.
say I would like I don't really like the Chikorita line, but I would even say Bayleaf is better than Croconaw.
I would co-sign that. Yeah.
I love the design.
And I will say, like, if someone like I have done playthroughs of Gold and Silver where I did it with Typhlosion and Quilava, because like I definitely do like that line as well.
Yeah.
I would if Pokemon were real and I got there and they were out of Totodile, I wouldn't be mad to start with a Cyndaquil.
Yeah. Well, first 3 gens, I wouldn't be mad about any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Same.
Actually, to be honest, if Pokemon were real, I'd just be happy to have one.
That's fair. That's actually very fair.
All right, Lucas, Gen 2.
Totodile.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Went from fire type to water type. I like
Yeah.
that. So,
Oh, I don't know, it's the luck, because I used to fucking love dinosaurs as a kid.
yeah.
And he has, like, the reptile aesthetic, obviously.
You were a
And
fucking
then-
dinosaur kid.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, but yeah, like, I agree with Ben. Croconaw, a little weird. For Alligator, brings it back.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah. I feel like my contribution is going to be terrible because Totodile was my buy. And I think that for Alligator is the dopest shit. Like, the dopest shit next to the next generation because I really like the water type from Gen 3.
Everyone has a soft spot for their first Pokemon game.
Yeah, for
Exactly, yeah. I'm the biggest problem. Alright, so before we launch into Gen 3, here's a fun little anecdote. I had my first Pokemon game, I had an Advance SD. And it was red and it was Ruby.
When you say Game Boy Advance SD,
You mean
do you
SP?
mean SP?
I do, yes.
Okay.
I haven't had it in like 20 years.
sure. No, it's an unforgivable sin, actually.
Yeah, whatever. Send me to hell. I
Yeah.
guess. But I had my SP, and it was red, and it came with Ruby. And I played Ruby to death. I had everything. And I kept my cartridge right on my bedside table, but I didn't have a charger on my bedside table. So I charged my Game Boy downstairs. One fateful day, my basement flooded. Yeah.
Press F.
N64, Game Boy, all of the shit gone.
That's
Brutal.
tragic.
90s kid nightmare.
But
That's all like actually awful.
Yeah.
But the insurance guys that came were really cool. And they were like, oh, this is a Nintendo 64? That's dope. So they wrote it up at retail cost, despite the fact that it was many years old. So they were like, here's the full cost of a Nintendo 64 when a Nintendo 64 came out. And they did the same thing with the Game Boy, the whole thing. So, with the money that we would have spent on a Nintendo 64 several years earlier, we bought a PS2. And then we spent $30 on an N64 from a garage sale that came with like 80 games. And that was very cool. And with the cost of my Game Boy, I still had my save cartridge, of course. It was on my bedside table. I got to buy a brand new blue Game Boy Advance SP that came with Sapphire.
Oh, interesting.
And so I managed to level up starters I didn't have, and the other legendary creatures, and transfer them all to my Ruby.
Oh, so your Ruby survived the flood.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Bedside table, right?
Exactly.
Oh, right. I see.
Yeah, exactly. So my Ruby had Groudon, Kyogre, Latios, Latias, fully leveled Marshtomp. That's the
Swampert.
Swampert, thank you.
Marshtomp's the middle.
Yeah, thank you. And
The Croconaw of the family.
still cooler than
and
Croconaw.
And very much so. But yeah, still cooler than Croconaw. But the weak link of that line.
Oh, for sure. And the fully leveled version of Trico and that whole shit.
That would be a Sceptile.
Thank you very much. And I managed to 100% my Pokedex because my basement flooded.
Hold on, you got the Gen 1 and Gen 2 ones from that as
Yeah,
well?
I got to transfer my guys up
But you can't, like, you got all the starters and everything too?
later. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I bought a copy of Blue from a garage sale.
But you can't transfer from blue or silver to emerald. Or ruby and sapphire.
Unless you got Fire Red, or what is it?
I had
Leaf
Leaf
Green.
I had Leaf
All
Green.
right, okay.
Yeah, I got
There
Leaf
it
Green
is.
later. And that's how I got Rayquaza! So, anyways.
Nice.
Yeah. So, that was my cool Pokemon anecdote. Anyways,
Nice.
Matt, Gen 3.
Oh, Gen 3, when I first got it, I actually was super choked because I switched to water type. I felt like a big betrayal to Charmander. However, so chose Mudkip. However, if I was choosing today, I would actually pick Trico.
Oh. Do you want to expand upon that?
I don't know. For whatever reason, just the whole lineage of Trico has kind of grown on me over time. There's just something...
The leaf blade stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah. There's just something interesting about it. I think Trico is the least interesting to look at of the starters, but as the line goes on, you kind of get what they're doing with the design.
All right.
And I just think it's like interesting and cool.
No, I can totally
answer.
agree with that.
Yeah.
It's nice because the grass starters are usually like the bulky ones. I feel like there's like Venusaur is very tanky, and then like Meganium is also kind of like bigger. It looks like it could take more hits than like Feraligatr and all
For
that.
sure.
But like,
yeah.
and then like Torterra, it's like a walking tank. But like you've got Sceptile, it's like very quick looking. It looks like it's gonna do a lot of damage very fast. Like the bulky one there is definitely Swampert.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, good rebuttal. I like
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm in support of that. I like that. Gen 3 is
Benjamin?
an interesting one for me because I kind of skipped it. Like, Gen 3 was it came out at the time when I was like, ugh, Pokemon's for little kids, and I'm not all about that.
Was this the time where you also sold all of your fucking Nintendo 64 cartridges?
Most of them.
Oh
I
my
needed
God.
the money for GameCube games.
Yeah,
That's the
fair.
new one.
Yeah, I get it.
I have since reconstructed the whole N64 library, but it cost me way more than I got when I sold it.
And for context, I've known Ben for a while. He started rebuilding this collection before I knew him, and he has finished it now. So it's been some fucking time.
Fortunately,
Jesus.
one of my friends who had a lot of overlap with my old N64 collection, but not a lot of overlap with my new one, sold all of his N64 games to me. So I was able to recoup a lot of my losses that way. And actually now my N64 collection is a lot more well-rounded than it was when I started selling it all.
Yeah, and also your friend had like the boxes for a lot of the games.
Yeah,
which is
he kept the box for Banjo-Tooie, for
Oh,
Pokemon
whoa.
Stadium 2, for
Yeah.
Super Smash Bros.
Oh my
And
god.
it was funny when
What was the one that he cut the barcode out?
that was Pokemon Stadium 2, and he handed me the box, and he's like, I cut the barcode off this. I don't know why I did that. I'm real sorry about it. Yeah, also
Weird.
the box for Majora's Mask and Star Fox 64.
Which is dope as hell. That's a good
The
collection.
funniest thing is when I opened up the box for Pokemon Stadium 2 and Smash Bros, there were notes that like 10-year-old like friend of mine had written in them, like about like Pokemon teams that he was gonna make and like matchups in Smash Bros and who he thought the best characters were.
Like
Oh,
Midoriya
interesting.
style notes about
Oh
the
yeah,
powers.
totally.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
he was going to the Hero Academy.
That's
like,
so fucking good.
But yeah, Gen 3 I actually skipped. The reason I bought Emerald for Gen 3 was because I needed it to catch some Pokemon in Pearl. Because when Pearl came out, me and my friends kind of like, almost as a joke, were like, let's buy the new Pokemon games and get into it. But then all of us started taking it seriously, and now we're like right back where we were, like
Yeah, I'm
all
shocked.
being into Pokemon. But the way those games worked is there were some Pokemon that you needed to have, because it's a DS game, Gen 4.
Yeah.
You needed to have the Game Boy cartridges in the
Right.
bottom of the DS, so you could catch Pokemon in certain routes. So like Magby's one of these and stuff like that, and you could only get them if you did that. So, and then of course you had to transfer Pokemon up as well. So
Yeah, of course.
I had to get a Gen 3 game, and I got Emerald. But favorite starter, I started with Mudkip, but Gen 3 was actually definitely one of the stronger generations for starters. One of my least favorite overall, but for starters, it is probably like top 3 or 4 for sure.
Those three characters
Yeah,
are
I like-
so good.
It is the only generation, I think, that I have played through. Nope, it's definitely not the only one, but it's one of like 2 or 3 that I've played through with every starter.
Oh,
shit.
cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't hate any of them. They're awesome.
Good answer.
I was gonna say the same thing, but I've beaten it with all 3 stars. I like reset my game.
Yeah.
I've beaten it with all 3, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably fuck with Torchic.
Damn, dude, I like that.
Yeah.
What's the
It turns
torture?
into a kung fu chicken. Like
And it was firefighting before
Exactly.
firefighting sucked.
exactly.
Yeah, that was like back when firefighting was dope.
I don't know. I just had a lot of. Yeah, I played the shit out of Ruby. It was good.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think the funnest part was not the funnest, but catching all the Reggies.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
Because it was just a
Regirock,
huge puzzle,
Registeel,
and it
the
made me
fucking-
feel so
Yeah,
accomplished when I figured all the puzzles and stuff just to find them.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I had to cheat and look on the internet.
And that was like right around the time that the internet became like a usable resource for
Right.
like finding this shit out.
I also had the guidebook for Ruby Sapphire too.
Oh,
So.
Ooh.
Very good.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I own 2 guidebooks right now. The guidebooks are for Final Fantasy 15 because I gotta hunt those fucking monsters, and also Silent Hill 2 because that's the best game ever made. Fuck you.
I have Oracle of Ages and Seasons because they're my favorite Zelda game.
Dip. Also back home I have Wind Waker because obviously. But yeah, my Gen 3 is I'm Mudkip, of course. I fuck with
I heard
Mudkip.
you like them.
Any day of the week. I will.
Careful with that meme. That's an NT.
Don't break that meme.
I mean, with the
dusted off the
popularity
shelf
of Sobble, I feel like we can dust out the Mudkip memes a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw a very good fan art that was Mudkip and Sobble sort of like rubbing cheeks and looking very happy, and they were like, they're friends. I was like, yeah,
I respect that.
they should be.
They're cousins, really.
Yeah.
They look like it. Really.
They like I can see a common ancestor there.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Also, one time me and my friend were on smogon.com just making teams. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's like a competitive battling Pokemon thing.
Cool.
Basically, it lets you do the competitive battling in Pokemon without grinding for like perfect IVs and then like EV training all your Pokemon.
Oh, so,
And you can battle online
it's like
still.
the battle simulator sort of
Yeah,
thing.
totally.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's awesome. Me and my friends made gym leader teams.
Okay.
And we were battling, and my best team by far was a ground type team that had Swampert on it.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
That's super dope. So that was Gen 3. Moving on to Gen 4. Matthew.
All right, confession time. This is the only one that I've never played, and
Matt,
yeah.
I'll cut you off briefly.
Yeah, go
There's
for
a
it.
couple here that I have not played.
Okay, well, for me, this is the only one that I just have not even touched.
All right.
Luke, you've played all of them, right?
No, I haven't played this
Oh,
one
am I
either.
the only one?
Ben's the only one!
Oh, no. I've got probably 10,000 hours
Holy
into
shit.
the whole series.
Into Pokemon full
Yeah,
stop.
if I were to rank the games that I've played based on time, it would be Pokemon and then Smash Bros.
Yeah, I can second that because I know Ben fucking lives and dies on the hill of Smash Bros.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
very
even.
good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Just very good. No, it's great choices.
No, yeah. One of my favorite things to hear people say is, "I'm pretty good at Smash Bros."
Oh man, I hate that. Somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good," and you're like, "Are you though?"
I had a friend of ours from work over, Aldo, and he said I'm pretty good at Smash Bros. 64, and I was like, let's do it then. And so I beat him, and it took him 3 out of 5 stocks before he touched me.
He
Oh my
crawled into his
God.
own entire asshole and died.
Yeah, pretty much. But back to Pokemon.
Fucking yeah. All right.
F in the chat.
Press F. Anyways, Matt.
So I don't have a visceral reaction to any of these. However, knowing what they all evolve into, I will pick Piplup.
Yeah, Piplup's good.
Yeah, I will say that the reason I'm not, I get less and less huge on these Pokemon as time goes on is I can really see how the first 3 generations there's a common artistic style to them, and then I just feel at Generation 4 they were just like, well, never mind, we don't need to even try to do that anymore.
Let's have 3 different people design 3 different Pokemon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I mean that's how it felt at the time. I've of course since come around, I'm no longer a jaded person who's just nostalgic for his old school Pokemon, but that's how it felt at the time.
I get that for sure. So Piplup.
Piplup, for
All
sure.
right, cool. Benjamin.
So, for Generation 4, like I said, my friends and I got into it. At the same time, the idea was we would all complete the Pokedex.
And it was going to be ironically.
Only 2 of them did, and then I kind of followed along after, and I have since completed every Pokedex and every Pokemon game since because it gets so easy because you can just transfer them up.
Yeah.
But I had to start with Chimchar for Gen 4 because someone needed to start with the Fire type, so
Sure.
we could breed it, and then we'd all have it. But I don't even know that I can say because I started with it, I have this bias towards it. But Gen 4 is one of those generations where I like all of them. I would say it's probably my second favorite generation of starters.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Me and Matt, we have a moment here.
there's differing opinions here.
We've established this already, but go on,
But
Benjamin.
yeah, I like Infernape a lot. I think he's super cool.
That's a good name.
Yeah, I like that he will generally beat Empoleon because you can you'll outspeed him. You can hit him with close combat and he dies.
Hey,
It's true.
Death
But
ain't no joke.
I do also like Piplup, Turtwig, and Torterra, and Empoleon, and Prinplup, and Grovyle? No, that's
Corval's
No,
from
that's,
Gen 3.
What's the in between for Turtwig?
Another
and Torterra?
turtle.
It's a turtle of some kind.
Turtle
Grover.
2, the
I
sequel
feel like
to
it's Grover, but
Turtles.
that might be Sesame Street. But yeah, so my favorite is Chimchar, I think, and like up to Infernape, but I do really like Piplup and I do really like Turtwig, but like I gotta go with the one that I went with first, and it's Chimchar.
I respect that. Lucas,
I didn't play Gen 4. That was
who do
when-
you think looks cool?
I was gonna say I didn't play it because I was in that Pokemon's for little kids stage.
Yeah, it feels like you guys are just like a little bit behind me on that. Like I
Yeah.
had my Pokemon's not cool anymore for Gen 3. You guys had it for Gen 4.
So, just before Lucas launches into this, I'm 24 years old. Matthew is recently 25 years old?
Yes.
Yes. Lucas,
26.
26. Benjamin,
I'm 27.
27.
28 in May.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm an old man.
Me and Ben are birthdaying at the same time,
It's true.
but we are turning very different ages. So Ben was ahead of us on the curve on this one.
Also, before we just jump back on Luke, I do have to just clarify. I never didn't like Pokemon conceptually. It was Gen 4 rolled around. I did not like Gen 4. I was still diehard for the first 3 gens.
See,
Even if we're going like overall like generations, I feel like Gen 4 is like my third favorite out of all the Pokemon generations.
we'll get to
Interesting.
this. We'll get to this. But also with Matthew, I never had beef with Pokemon. Like, I was never like, I'm too fucking cool for this. Like, that never happened.
No, that's
It was just that I did not have the console to play the game many generations of
I-
Pokemon. Yeah.
I
Matt just nodded his head.
never stopped loving it. I never but like it was definitely like I'm playing Silver on my Game Boy Advance, like hiding, and like I'm not gonna buy Generation 3 because then I have to be seen buying a Pokemon game, and that's embarrassing.
See-
but I do love it.
See, that's never a mood I had, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like I was never like, I'm never gonna play Pokemon. Fuck you. Like, that never happened.
No,
for me.
I wasn't like that. I was like, I love Pokemon, and if someone gave me Generation 3, I'd have been thrilled, but like
Yeah.
I couldn't publicly love it.
Yeah, I get that.
Secret shame, yeah.
Lucas.
If someone put a gun to my head and said pick one, I'd probably pick Chimchar.
Oh shit! All right, cool. That's Ben's got backup. I like that. Me, I also never played 4 because again, I didn't have the hardware. I was too busy playing the home consoles to play the handhelds. But I'll tell you for free, I love Piplup. I like that little penguin.
Piplup's good, and Polygon's also good.
He's cute as fuck. I like that penguin a lot.
Gen 4 was the first one to give its starters a reverse typing as well.
Yeah.
So like
Yes,
it
which
reversed,
is-
it like the fighting
Yeah.
beats steel fighting beats steel. Actually, wait a second. It's not quite reverse.
Oh,
Because
Ben.
if you hit a steel type Pokemon with Earthquake, it's taking super effective damage. So really, Piplup just gets fucked by both the other two.
Ah, shit. I really like Piplup though because also in Smash Bros, Piplup shows up and he's like, "Bah-bah," and he surfs across the stage
He
and
does do that.
sends you to hell.
Or if you die, he just kills himself.
True.
It's just an all or nothing attack.
I
Yeah.
love that guy.
It's got heart. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're moving on to number 5. Matthew.
Okay, so I did play this one, but it was in the midst of my friends and my just like hatred of later generations. I have since gotten over this, but at the time I was very much not over it. So I did another.
That's a rough one for you then. With like, I hate new generations. Here's a Pokemon game where your only available Pokemon are the new generation.
Yeah, well, the way we got around it is we Nuzlocke around.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, Matt has told me he has exclusively Nuzlocked this one like as his opening to it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Which is gnarly.
Brutal.
Yeah,
Gnarly.
needless to say, to not complete my run, I got owned.
fair.
But I started off with Oshawott. Oshawott is my least favorite of the 3 actual starters, but more of my favorite as you go into the evolutions of Oshawott.
I respect that.
Yeah, I remember specifically the only Pokemon in that generation that I was like, oh man, they're dying left, right, and center, I don't care. For whatever reason, I was just fond of my Purloin. And then I was not prepared for like a critical hit, and I was just like, goodbye, sweetness. You were the only not dumb Pokemon in this whole region.
Shit.
The heartbreak.
Yeah. But yeah,
So it's Oshawott?
It's Oshawott, but the only one where I wouldn't, the only one where I'd return it is Tepig.
Send it back.
If Professor Oak was like, hey man, it's Pokemon Journey, great, here's a Tepig, I'd say, I'll pass, man.
I'll get it next time.
Yeah.
Alright, Benjamin.
So Gen 5 is actually, like, as a generation, not like for the Pokemon it introduces, but just like as a game, my favorite.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if that's necessarily a popular opinion.
I don't know as it is either. It's not. I mean, maybe not at this table, but like I think there's some people backing me up on the internet.
I mean, I'm sure.
But it has its standout Pokemon in general, but overall, I think the ones that it introduced were on the weaker side of things. There are a couple that I really do like though. One of them is Samurott, which is a Samurai Otter in the evolved form of Oshawott.
Yeah.
So
That
Oshawott is
motherfucker.
absolutely my favorite. If I were to rank them, it would go Oshawott, Snivy, and Tepig.
Preach.
But yeah, I just like that otter. An otter that uses a shell, because otters have shells, as a sword is a very good concept for a Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm spoiling my response right now. Lucas!
So, this generation is, I was in high school, and...
Wait, you were in high school?
Oh.
I was in high school with you?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
shit!
yeah, no, I signed up to do the grad trip to get pissed drunk for a week. But for the plane ride, I'm like, you know what? I want something to do. So I went to the mall, and I picked up Pokemon Black.
Dope.
And I picked Oshawott.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And yeah, Samurot's just fucking cool. And I was drunk at one point playing Pokemon in my bed in Mexico.
So fucking
So-
dope.
You guys went to Mexico for your
Yeah,
grad
we
trip?
went to Cancun.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so to sort of fishtail off of that, my grad trip was 1 year after Lucas's, because Lucas is, of course, 1 year older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And he and two other guys, Josh and Braden's going to be on this at some point. He's coming out to hang out. We were like, the three of us decided we're going to do something dope for our grad trip, because the trip to Cancun sounds like fun, but also we'd like to remember our graduation.
Sure.
And so the four of us, Lucas included, decided that we were going to go to San Diego Comic-Con. And so we did. And it was dope as fuck.
It was so sick.
Way better than the Cancun trip. Cancun trip can go to hell.
Yeah.
And we met some cool guys. We hung out. We did the whole fucking Comic-Con thing. And it was really rad. So I did not have this experience with Pokemon on my graduation trip. But that's just like a fun anecdote. We went to Comic-Con. It was rad. Also, my pick is... Dumb Otter with good shell. I like him a lot. He's cute, and I really enjoy him, and also I'm a water type sucker.
Yeah.
So
I think we just confirmed Oshawott's the best starter.
Yeah,
in
that's
Gen
our
5.
our first unanimous call.
Oshawott's best pick.
My grad trip was a bunch of my grad students went camping for like a weekend,
Nice.
and I didn't go because it rained, and I thought that would be miserable.
Yeah. And were you
So-
right?
Oh, I was right. Me
Yeah.
and my friends hung out, and then like the rest of our grad class just got cold, wet, and drunk.
So that's literally, we went to Comic-Con, and the rest of our grad trip got sad, drunk, and cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So Gen 6. I know
So-
you have strong opinions on some, Scott.
Do I? Yes, I do. Just took a glance at my phone. I do have some opinions. These are not opinions on the starters, though.
It's the opinion
Just
on
the
a
game
starter.
in general.
No, opinions on the final form.
Oh, I see. Your
Right. Okay.
Matthew.
Honestly, I kind of feel the same about all of these.
Yeah.
Which is fairly positive. Also, this is, as my understanding is correct, loosely based off of D&D classes, so
Yeah.
no shade from me.
It's a rogue, a wizard, and a knight.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, right? It's
I
very
like
good. It's
that.
very
Yeah, if
good.
you didn't like Gen 6 starters, I feel like I just turned it around for you.
No, I respect it more, but I still like what I like.
Fair.
But yeah, I would actually have a hard time picking one. I think I went with Chessman at the time.
Which one is that?
It's the grass one.
Thank you.
Yeah. I would like Fennekin a little bit more, but I just feel that Fennekin's a little bit gendered, especially as the further evolutions go. It just kind of like looks.
Yeah,
Because I like the
I can get
dress
behind that.
look.
Yeah,
in
and
the final form.
But
Yeah.
the final form's kind of more wizard robes is what they're going for. But I
Yeah.
definitely get where you're coming from with the in-between form is definitely like...
Yeah, and I don't like Pokemon that look gendered one way or the other. It just they're kind of
So-
off-putting to me.
Tell
How do
me
you feel
about
about Nidoqueen
Jinx.
and Nidoking?
Ironically, Jinx I got around by, in my mind, having Mr. Mime be the other equivalent.
Yeah,
so
what
it's-
about Mr. Mime?
Yeah, no, it's that.
Monsieur Mime!
That was less problematic in Gen 1 when they were possibly mirrors for each other.
Sure.
As time went on, that was not the case, and it's become a very big issue for me.
Alright,
In
alright.
Gen 2, I believe Sabrina, when you fight her, when you visit Kanto, has a female Mr. Mime.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is that a Mr. Mime with anime titties?
no.
It's with Mind, actually.
Christ. Alright, Ben.
I started with Froakie. I like Froakie. I feel like it's almost cliche at this point to say that Greninja's your favorite Gen 6, like, final evolution, because, like, it's the one that's in Smash Bros. It's the one that's,
In the
it's the one
movie.
it's the one that's in the
in
anime.
Detective Pikachu.
It's the one that got the, like, extra... Yeah, it's in Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I just like Greninja. Hate him in Smash Bros. I like him in Pokemon.
Respect that, yeah. Blucas.
I started with Chespin when I first got the game because I remember I was with Braden when we were in line to get the game.
Yeah.
So I get the game, but I realized I don't have a fucking SD card, so I couldn't play it.
Oh.
So then I had to wait the next day to go to the mall and get an SD card. And then he got ahead of me, so I'm like, fuck. So yeah, I started with Chespin, but I would go with Froakie as my favorite. 'Cause,
Okay.
again, Greninja, he's cool.
Okay, but
Similarly,
no,
I
sorry,
had to cannibalize my dad's camera to get the SD card out of it.
Yeah.
He never found out.
Oh, really?
I always had to do that. I always had to do that for Project M, like a new version of Project
Oh,
M.
yeah.
And I had
Right.
to grab an SD card for that.
But Lucas, I have to ask you, because I agree, Greninja's the coolest.
Right.
Of the starters,
Oh,
which one do you like best?
like aesthetically, I would probably say Chespin.
Okay, cool.
Still Froakie.
Because now it's my turn, and I fucking hate Froakie.
You hate the shit out of
I think
Froakie.
Froakie sucks.
Why?
I don't like his fucking design. I don't like him.
Do you know what the best thing about Froakie is? In the Pokemon
I think,
anime.
sorry, hold on, I'm gonna cut you off. I think the best thing about Froakie is the fact that he evolves into Greninja.
No, it's in the Pokemon anime, the X and Y anime. Whenever like Froakie or like Frogadier or Greninja fight,
Fuck Frogadier.
it's as if the like animators were like, all right, so we don't want to make Pokemon anymore. We want to make Naruto. So he gets like double team, and it's just like the like clones everywhere, and then he gets like the like ball hand thing with the like water shuriken. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Alright.
You were
But like, I hate Froakie. I think Frokie's a badly designed Pokemon.
he has little bubble eyeglasses, my
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck it. I don't like it.
How is that not the cutest fucking thing?
Because we'll get to Gen 8. I'll tell you what's the cutest thing.
You have very strong opinions
I
on,
do.
a
I-
particular Gen
I
8
don't
Pokemon.
like Froakie. I think Froakie, like, pictures that I've seen of Froakie are very, like, flat. Like, the character just looks flat. I don't like the character. I really like the red one. What's his
Fennekin.
name?
Fennekin.
Thank you. I like Fennekin. I really like Fennekin. I like Fennekin stage 1. I have no opinion on 2 or 3. But I think Fennekin's cute as hell and real likable. So, that's...
Also, it was stated a couple of times this round that obviously Greninja is the coolest of the evolutions. I'm not sure on that. He should be, but because that scarf is his tongue, I can't.
Okay.
I
No,
can't
no,
do
yeah,
it.
no. Sucks ass,
I'm
yeah.
into that.
Yeah, it's like if that wasn't, I'd be with you. But whenever I'm like, that's his tongue. That's super
So,
weird
no,
and super gross.
What
No,
would
but
you
like,
say is
sorry,
best?
I'm gonna steal this. Glow Up. I hate Froakie. I love Greninja.
Mhm.
I think that's a glow up. That's the 10-year challenge.
Yeah,
I think Greninja's dope as fuck. I don't think the tongue is good, but like I think that he looks really tight.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, Matt,
Mhm.
with that in mind, that you are not Team Greninja as the coolest Gen 6 starter, who is the coolest final evolution for the Gen
And this
6?
is of course up until Gen 6. 'Cause we haven't talked about 7 yet.
Sure.
No, not starter in general.
Just
like,
of Gen 6.
Gen 6.
Yeah.
Just aesthetically, it is Greninja, but knowing it's the tongue means that I can't do it, which brings it to Chestnut.
I appreciate Chestnut. I know you don't like Chestnut, do you, Scott?
Which one's
He's the grass one.
I mean,
He's
I don't know.
big
what
and
that-
beefy.
He's grass spiky boy.
I bet I like him. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I got no beef.
It was probably
I
Rusted.
don't like Froakie. All right.
I'm googling Chestnut for you. Just
All
to
right. Thank you.
Get this out of the way.
Do the whole thing. This is the whole podcast.
Wow, why did you?
I gotta say a lot of.
It just gave me
Pokemon-
directions to Chestnut.
I mean,
That's
let's
a
go.
place. Yeah, fuck it. Why are we still
Fuck
here?
yeah, road trip.
It's like this one.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
I would actually, if I were to, like, I would be happy with Chestnut, like,
Being your
being my guy.
homeboy. Yeah.
Thank God this is an audio medium. I can't not share this.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
That's a lot of dick.
Oh no.
The internet's a dangerous place, people.
It's
The internet's a
dangerous.
dangerous
What if you
place.
look up like sexy
It's
chestnut?
just Chestnut.
No, he just
All it
searched
says is
chestnut.
Chestnut, and it's the 5th result.
So much cock.
chestnut tea.
And now you
Oh.
no, very nice. Now
Just
you know you're
cock.
safe, sir.
Anyways.
Oh god.
Shit. All right, Matthew. We are on to Gen 7.
Are we?
Yeah.
We are.
Okay, well, I mean, this is... I understand that you... It's Rowlet. It's Rowlet. It's almost impossible to convince me otherwise.
Good pick.
Yeah, it's just Rowlet. There's only one other choice, though. It's a 50-50.
There are only 2 picks in Gen 7.
Yeah, no, I'm in 100% agreement with you. Like, that is... I feel like Gen 7 is the worst generation for starters. I also feel like overall, everything considered, it's the worst generation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But
Deep digs.
yeah, I always start with the water starter. Like, there's a bias towards the water starter for me.
And me as well, yeah.
Poplio sucks.
Poplio is the fucking worst.
Whatever the hell the thing that it evolves into sucks.
Yep.
And Primarina sucks.
The sexy version of Poplio
Yeah.
is disgusting.
Yes.
That's just deviant art.
Yeah.
Usually, if I don't like the water starter, I would go to the fire starter.
Yeah.
And Litten's awesome.
Yes.
And so is the one above it. Torcat?
Yeah.
Torcat. I feel like it's Torcat.
Tor something.
But I hate Incineroar a lot. I really dislike that as an evolution.
Fair.
I was expecting like a badass like quadruped
Like
fire
big cat.
tiger thing.
Monster.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
what I was expecting as well.
But I got like fucking Nacho Libre in cat form.
Do you hate him in
You
Smash?
got Rey
I-
Mysterio.
I do hate him in Smash, but I appreciate
There you
that
go.
he's a grappler type a little bit. Although I think Melee and Project M Ice Climbers are a better grappler archetype.
All right, Ben. We're not here to talk about Project M.
Also, as long as we're on Incineroar, I will say that one of the reasons I'm not huge on Incineroar is that you can tell they really wanted to do firefighting. They
Yeah.
really wanted
But
to.
Incineroar, he's
He's fire dark.
He's
It's-
fire dark, but we all know that he's firefighting.
He's firefighting.
Wrestlers fight people, and he's a wrestler. Like, he is a fighting type
Like
Pokemon.
the only universe in which he's fire dark is if he's emulating Kane from the WWE, because Kane is the dark type, or Paul Bearer, or fucking goddamn. Sorry,
But like,
About
wrestling.
Wrestling
it
stuff.
feels like a firefighting without the fighting typing.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just knew that they couldn't do another firefighting without us rioting.
And
Yeah.
and
we did.
Well, they were right.
Yeah.
they were absolutely right. But a quadruped tiger thing
That would
been
have
dope
been
as
would
fire
have been a
dark.
really good fire dart.
Yeah,
Like
for
a-
sure.
What if it
So-
was more like Entei?
Like
Like
Entei.
Entei, right?
Mhm, for sure.
Now, I do like Rowlet. I do like Decidueye. But the downside to that is then your rival takes fucking Poplio, so you have to see Primarina all the goddamn time.
Some really hard opinions on this.
Yeah, Gen 7
Wait,
is.
your rival takes the type that you're strong against?
Oh,
no,
they do.
because they all three. There's 3 people.
Yeah, there's
there's
3.
always someone that gets it, and then
Right.
Okay.
the one that you fight more takes the water.
Oh,
one,
right.
And then your friendly
his
rival
name starts
takes.
with an H.
How?
Yeah.
He takes the fire one that you're weak. That you're strong. No, you're weak to, and then the other one, Galleon,
I don't fucking know.
takes the water one. I think. But I just remember seeing Pre-Marina a goddamn lot and feeling like feeling like
You had
that
wronged
I
yourself.
wronged myself
Yeah.
by taking this starter.
Fuck. All right, Lucas, Gen 7.
Rowlet.
It has to be.
That's a good
He's
pick.
got a cool bow tie.
I honestly, I feel like I'm...
And like honestly, I like Decidueye.
Yeah.
It's a ghost grass archer. That's
Rowlet,
so
this is
cool.
like
Yeah.
so fucking cool. I picked Litten. I really like Litten. I like that apathetic cat. I love cats. That's a problem with me.
It's not a problem.
He's got these like Garfield style like half masked eyelids where he's like judging you.
I would
And
like
he's so fucking cute.
Litten more if it evolved into Garfield instead of Incineroar, because I think the joke would be funnier than Incineroar is good.
Yeah. I can second that. I love Litten though, and I think I'm the only person in the room right now. I really like wrestling too. And
I've never followed wrestling.
I was excited when I saw that there was a Fire Cat wrestler, and I was like, wah, wah, wah. So that was.
Mod the game so that every time you send out Incineroar, it plays that.
Thank you. The Wrestling Isn't Wrestling version of John Cena's theme song, where it's like, but now.
Well said.
Thank you. That's.
Eloquently
I'll play it
put.
for you later. But
Well, if we're going by wrestling rules, wouldn't Incineroar be useless because it's all staged?
I mean, yes, absolutely. But also, you cannot tell me that John Cena is not fit as fuck.
Oh no, he's fucking fit.
Exactly.
The problem with that is so is Incineroar, and I really don't like that they put a buff humanoid furry cat in Pokemon.
There's
we
a furry
ju- I
game
mean,
freak.
I
We
know
just
that
found
Lucas
out.
likes.
We
Fuck
just
off.
found out-
Shots fired.
Listen, we just found out that they will make fan art of it, even if it's Chestnut. It doesn't need to already be sexy.
Ben, I feel like you're airing some grievances.
I don't like Incineroar.
Alright. Gen 8, Matthew.
I thought we already did this.
We did.
We started with this one.
Yeah, alright. That's fine. So, are we doing
You want to do generations in general?
favorite generation based on...
Or do we want to do like a tier list of the starters? Like rank the generations based on their starters.
Well, I have the starter in general lineup. I would have a hard time doing every generation
That's
of Pokemon
fair.
just because there's like such variation even in the best and worst
That's fair.
generations. But I have my lineup all ready to go for the best to worst starters in my opinion.
I'm trying to pull mine
Yeah,
up
I'm
in the
scrolling
group
back
chat
through the group
just
chat.
to
Alright,
be
I'm good,
consistent.
I'm good.
I'm changing mine up a little bit from what I did in the
I
group
didn't
chat.
do this. Oh shit.
I am not changing mine up. Alright.
You made a full blown tier list. Oh, of just individual starters.
I found that on the internet. That was not me.
Oh, it was
I
not
cannot
your
take
team?
credit for that.
That's our whole thing! Christ.
Oh, we didn't count Eevee and Pikachu from Pokemon Let's Go.
That's because they're not starters.
That's fair.
I mean,
I
Let's
do
Go
love
does
them.
technically make them starters. Also,
I mean,
guess
so does Pokemon Yellow.
I'm going back and finding my screenshots.
It's been so long since I've played Yellow. What does your rival evolve their Eevee into?
Their rival evolves their Eevee into there's like a complicated system for it, and I can't remember exactly
Christ.
what it is.
Oh, but there is a
there's a system to
variation,
determine it.
okay.
And it's like
Why
it's
the fuck would there be anything other than a highly complicated
I
system?
thought that it depended on what you evolve your Eevee into, but it doesn't. What it actually is like it's something obscure, like how many Pokemon you have or what level your Pokemon are or something.
Oh my god.
Weird.
Christ
all right,
almighty.
I found my
I got
tier
my list, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Alright, Matthew, open the stage.
All right, so we are now listing just our favorite starters, the favorite generation.
We
of
are
starters.
listing our generations based on the starters exclusively.
Yeah.
So it's not the generation based on the generation.
Mhm.
It's the generation based on the starters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is an important distinction.
I now realize the list that I had found is the one that I did for the generations, so I'm looking for the starters.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
gotcha.
work on
There it is.
that.
I got it.
All right, Ben's good too.
So I start off with number 2, and that's because, I mean, A, obviously it has home to my favorite all-time Pokemon.
Yeah.
But B, also, I think there's something nice about the fact that they're all monotyped. It's just kind of the whole way through.
Time.
Yeah, it's a simpler time. We didn't have to worry too much about everything.
A reference back to a time when we all could keep track of it instead of like being like, what the fuck is going on with Pokemon?
Yeah, you know, they had done something really good, and that was the generation like, oh, we did a good thing. Let's improve upon that good thing.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the good thing they did, number 1. So it's 2-1. And then 3, I've said it before, I feel like the first 3 are the strongest generations. I stand by it.
Yep.
After that, I jump all the way to 6.
Okay.
I dig the aesthetic of D&D, shocking no one.
Came here with a D20 in his coat pocket.
In his coat pocket. It's in my pants pocket.
In his
I would
fucking
not
pants
get that
pocket.
That far away from me.
He's got to take off his coat.
Yeah, you get it. Generation 8 after that. And then the generations I don't like. We can move on, yeah?
Cool.
I'll give the whole list. It's 2, 1, 3, 6, 8, 4, 7, 5. But 4, 7, 5, I could take or leave, really.
So that's like just sort of a nebulous, like these are the generations you don't really give a shit about.
Yeah, they are in that order. That's the correct order for me.
Sure.
But that's the...
Sure. Mine starts much the same as yours, but the opposite. So,
interesting.
Gen 1, Wartortle, favorite Pokemon ever. Quilava, yours, you go with Gen 2. Wartortle, mine, I go with Gen 1. Gen 2, second favorite. I agree. It was a lot of, like, we're going to improve on it. I will say I like Bulbasaur a whole lot more than I like Chikorita, which is almost the deciding factor between the two for me, because the fire and the water ones are very good.
Yeah.
And I feel like Cyndaquil and Charmander, their lines are, like, pretty equal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give the edge to Gen 2 for Gen 1 to Water because it's got Wartortle in it, and also Blastoise is sick as fuck.
True. Also, Blastoise is only 5'7". Fuck you. Go to hell.
Yep. Charizard's like 5'4", though.
I
Yeah.
thought he was 5'11", but either way, it's...
Blastoise is barely taller than Charizard. That's
Yeah,
fucked.
You couldn't ride a Charizard.
Well, Ash is 10 in all fairness.
I couldn't ride a Charizard when I was 10. But then, like, Bulbasaur is just way better than Chikorita. So that's why I gotta give it to Gen 1.
For sure, although I like Bayleaf more than any Bulbasaur evolution.
Okay.
That's just a
Oh,
personal
that's
take.
Really?
Damn, all right, no, I respect it. That's a cool claim to make. I like
Okay.
that.
I did not expect that kind of reaction from that. But yeah, no, I think Bayleaf's design is very
No,
good.
that's super dope.
Chikorita wins it for me on the shiny form, where it goes to like an autumn version of itself. I feel like that's a missed opportunity with Leafeon, but like the fall colors Chikorita Bayleaf, very good. Anyway, so following Generation 2, as number 3 on my list is Generation 4.
Okay.
There was a lot of
There's
distress.
a lot of motion all of a sudden over there. I feel like I said, everyone has a soft spot for their first generation of Pokemon, and like I said, I dropped off the Pokemon wagon for Gen 3, and what brought me back into it was Gen 4.
As a bit, but still brought you back.
It still brought me back into it, and so
Totally.
it was almost like a second coming of Pokemon for me. So I really like Generation 4, but I also just think the starters are dope. Like, you've basically got like Sun Wukong as like the fire starter. Like,
I dig that.
you've got like the Empoleon with like water steel, great typing. It's an Emperor Penguin that's just like in armor, I guess. And then I feel like Torterra's super cool. So anyway, I just like Gen 4 a lot. Like, outside of the starters, Gen 4 is great. But inside the starters, third favorite.
All right.
Generation 8 comes in next. Then I
No,
have...
it's not out yet.
I mean, for starters.
Oh, for starters.
night.
Okay.
For starters, Lucas.
I'll have to reassess that when we see what direction they
Yeah,
go into, because it's
for
possible
sure.
that
I
they
mean,
just...
but the evolutions won't change the quality of the starters.
Sure, but when I say starter, I mean the whole thing. The whole
Yeah,
package.
but we're just talking the starters.
Sure, I mean, it doesn't...
For the purposes of this podcast.
It doesn't change my ranking at all, and it gives me more to talk about.
True. I mean, we'll revisit this, of course.
Sure, but it is possible that every single Gen 8 starter could just shit the bed on their evolutions.
They all turn into firefighting.
They're all firefighting.
We know that at least one of them will for the second evolution. That's just tradition.
Yeah, I guess. So then after that, I have here Gen 5 after Gen 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Snivy. I like that he evolves to lose his arms. Samurott, I think, is dope. Tepig, yeah, I'm kind of lukewarm on, but I still think overall he's good. And then after that, it's 3, 6, and 7. I could probably I could probably swap. Looking at this list now, I could probably swap Gen 3 and Gen 5 because I do like all the starters in Gen 3, but I'm like kind of mad on Tepig.
Okay.
But then yeah, Gen 6 and Gen 7, like Gen 6 is like kind of getting into the weaker end, I feel like, and then Gen 7 is just like, I only even remotely care about one of you, and picking you still means I have to tolerate the one that I hate the most.
Fair point. Alright, Lucas.
Oh god, I did not prepare for this.
Do you want me to... Because I got my whole thing.
Yeah, you go.
Alright,
You
cool. Alright, we'll go back to you.
Okay.
Alright, so my top tier is 2 and 3. I love Gen 2. I love Gen 3 equally. Gen 3 was my first fucking Pokemon game, and I really like Gen 2. I love Totodile. I love, like, it's good. Gen 2's good. So 2 and 3 are my number one. I got Gen 1 next. Because, I mean, how can you beat Squirtle, Charmander,
You just
and
can't.
Bulbasaur?
Froakie.
Go to fucking hell! But Gen 1 is super good. I just think that Gen 2 and Gen 3 were a little bit more thoughtful. Like, I think that the first generation was great, but Gen 2 and Gen 3 were kind of like, we can expand and we can, like, make this more of a thing.
I don't know if I'd say they're more thoughtful, though, because you have to take into account that when they were doing Gen 1, they took a second to look at every single type and were like, how can we make a circle out of this?
No, don't get me wrong. I just think that design-wise,
Okay.
like character design-wise, they were more thoughtful because they were like, how can we expand upon this and make it make sense? And I think 2 and 3 are like perfect examples of that because it's just like really good. Then I honestly, after 1, and this is a problem with who I am as a person, 8. I really fucking like 8.
I think it's great.
I love Sobble, I love Scorbunny, I love Grookey. I think, like, when I saw them, I was like, fuck that! Like, I was as mad when I saw them as I was when I saw Gen 6.
The more I looked at the Gen 8 starters, the more I
liked them! Yeah.
And I think it says a lot that for my list, I took the whole package, not just the starters, into perspective, and Gen 8 still came out right in the middle with just its 3 starters.
Yeah, exactly. But I have fallen in love with the Gen 8 starters. Like,
You changed the picture on the group chat to Sobble?
yes, I did! I changed it to the version of Sobble that is the Pikachu meme. And I don't regret it. I think Gen 8's so good. Like, I was so mad about it. Like, the instant I saw it, I was like, fuck Gen 8. Like, Pokemon's gonna be bad. And then, like, a day later, I was like, God,
Pokemon will never be bad. Because even if the starters are trash, there's always, like, every past generation.
So much Pokemon! Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then I went to 4. I think 4 is pretty good. Gen 4. Just gonna go with the numbers because I don't have the picture references right now. But after 4, I went to 7. I really like Litten a lot, and I really like Rowlet a lot. Like, they're both just, like, fuck, I love cats. So sorry.
Litten's good. I like Litten.
Yeah.
Like I said,
and Rowlet.
And Rowlet, but like I said, Incineroar, I hate to hell and back.
And
But
Poplio can go to
and-
fucking hell.
Poplio, I think, is the goddamn worst starter of the entire bunch.
Ever.
Could not agree more.
I think we're all in agreement.
If
there.
I say War Turtle's my number one, Poplio is like my, I don't know how many there would be. I'm not gonna do the
Negative
math, but, like,
12,
it's the
whatever.
worst.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't have as big of a beef with Incineroar as I do if Litten looked different. I just feel like the pitch for what they're setting up was different with Litten than what you
Totally.
get with
Oh,
Incineroar.
for sure. Yeah. Like, Litten does not look like what Incineroar becomes. For
Also,
sure.
yeah.
Incineroar is a firefighting Pokemon.
For sure.
He's
They
not-
just knew we would riot.
He's not a fire dark. He's not.
They made a fire Pokemon and slapped Dark on it. It's
Yeah,
like
and they're
taped.
like,
It's like
"Oh,
taped
this
to the
is
sun.
dark."
Like,
Yeah. Next, I have 5 and then 6. I don't have much to say. I didn't play either of these generations. I think 5 is better than 6, but I think both of these generations are worse than the other aforementioned generations. So, fuck it.
All right,
Litton's
Luke.
cash money.
All right, Luke, what you got?
you can be wrong about Gen 7, Scott. That's fine.
So I put Generation 2 as my favorite because I had Gold, Silver, and
Just a second, Lucas.
What?
Ben, go fuck yourself. Lucas, continue.
Wow. So yeah, Gen 2, I had Gold, Silver, and Crystal because I fucking love those games.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
No, Gen 2 is
I
like
was
100%
there, man.
solid.
Yeah.
In the first list that I found that I'd written that was all the Pokemon generations, I have Gen 2 as my number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gen 1 being my first, getting me
course.
into Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then 3, the jump from the Game Boy Color to the Game Boy Advance, the fucking sprites just, they look so good, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It was
Totally.
there was a big up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went with 5 because it kind of rekindled my love for Pokemon.
Fuck
with
yeah.
See, I'm
Oshawott
telling
and
you, that
Samurott.
second coming that does it.
And then I went with 7 next because I just really like Rowlet and Decidueye.
They're so
They're
good,
very
right?
good.
Yeah.
They are. That's a great Pokemon.
And then I went with 6. And then I put 8 as second last because I have high I'm going to keep my expectations low in case
Sure.
it does shit the bed. But it could easily jump up several
Oh,
rankings.
Oh my god.
There's so much potential for all
Yeah.
3 of them.
Exactly.
Like if Sobble jumps my already love for Sobble, Sobble's gonna become my Squirtle. Like Squirtle is my favorite.
Let's
There you
let
go.
Luke finish, but
And
I want to put a pin in that and circle
And
back
then
around to that.
I have
Yeah.
4 as my last because I didn't play it, so I can't really have any input on it. So
You
for
guys
sure.
should play Pokemon like Gen 4. It's real good. I
Ben.
really like it.
if I can find it, I'll probably do
I
it.
could lend it to you.
Ooh.
Cut this. I can get you an emulator for any game you want.
We're not gonna cut this.
Don't
You're
steal,
there,
kids.
you're there with the trench coat. Like, what do you want? I got it.
Yeah,
All the Pokemon
You want to buy
booties.
any
I wa-
stopwatches?
at one point I could have gotten it for you on your phone.
Through like jailbreaking phones or whatever?
No.
No? Weird.
It was just they've since taken down my methodology of doing so.
You mean just an app on the App Store that emulates DS games?
No, it wasn't on the App Store. It was there was a specific website that you had to do. You also had to change the date on your phone to be able to allow it.
What the
What
Matt,
the fuck?
don't do anything too incriminating because I'm keeping all of this.
Well, you can take an internet court.
You fucking cop. Luke,
What?
you
I'm done.
did finish? Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
So,
I have a question for you, Scott. As
Yeah.
someone who loves Sobble with every fiber of his being,
yeah.
what's your best case scenario for his evolution?
I hope for 2 things.
Sure.
I hope that Sobble either evolves into a water dragon or a water ghost.
Both of those would be great. I think
Yeah.
Water Ghost is the more likely of the two, but I could also
Yeah.
see it going Water Dragon. As a fellow water starter,
I know you know, yeah.
I like both of those would be fine. I'd be totally into it. I want, and it would almost be kind of trending into like firefighting a little bit.
Could you imagine a water fighting?
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like I either want like another water steel because I
Sure.
just love the steel type,
Sure.
or a water fighting, and I want it to be either a knight or like some sort of like fighting person that sticks up for the weak little Sobble. That's what I want. I want Sobble to grow up and learn to defend itself and its friends.
I love that Sobble's hydro pump is him just crying really hard.
I don't think we will get that for Sobble, but I do think a water fighting would be sweet as heck.
It would be sick.
Alright, so I to wrap this up, I want to do a round table what's your number one generation? One more time.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 1
Number 1.
for starters.
2.
Number 2. Number 2. So Ben's outnumbered. Taking credit for loves Generation 2 the best.
I love Generation 2 as a whole.
Yeah.
Starters, I like Generation 1. Generation 2 is close second.
All right. I love it.
Okay. Before we close out, I just want to say why I like number 1 and 2 the most. Even 3, I guess, is a little bit more. I just feel like they are obviously all cartoons. I'm not going to pretend they are not cartoons. But looking at
What's the?
I'm so sorry.
They're
Santa Claus also isn't real. All right.
Shit!
It sucks to find out.
But there was just something really nice for my imagination looking at like all of these pieces of Pokemon art in the background of the anime. Calling Pokemon anime feels weird. Anyway, but that just like, made it look like a real, like that made it feel like very viscerally real. Like you saw the posters. The posters didn't look like they were trying to be cartoons. It looked like they were trying to emulate like an actual like
an animal.
like an animal, like a monster fighting tournament.
Okay,
And
I totally
it just
get that.
becomes more and more cartoon the more generations in you go.
And I feel like
Yeah.
they get a little bit more, like, not like over designed, but the needle kind of wavers a little closer in that direction the further generations you go.
Oh, for sure.
And there was definitely like a huge art style shift after Generation, I think it was Generation 2 into Generation 3,
Yeah.
where they had that, like originally they had that almost like watercolor kind of art style that's like super cool, and I love seeing all of the like original Pokemon in those designs, but like you just don't get that with the new ones anymore, and honestly they wouldn't fit it. And like, yeah, I can absolutely agree. I think that plays into why I like those generations so much.
Well, I think it's.
You look at you.
Yeah, I
so-
do.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, for the new generation, do you think we're gonna get a new evolution?
I goddamn
We have
hope
to.
so.
And if we do, what would you want?
I want an evolution that is steel, and I want his name to be Guardian.
Ooh,
That'd be
sounds
good.
strong.
Right? Is that
Yeah,
something?
that's
Is
good.
that
That's
something?
good.
Yeah.
I like that.
That?
If we only get one, I want it to be Dragon, but I don't want Dragon if it's going to be Dragon and other things. I just feel like an evolution Dragon should be like a big deal and like a thing that is like the EV quest.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna get other stuff with it, don't give me Dragon. Do
I
something
think
else.
Dragon's the last evolution. Like I
It's
think
fair.
we go through all of the evolution types
Oh,
and then Dragon.
I think close. I think normal will be the last one.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Oh, could you imagine the most boring?
I think it'll happen eventually.
I love it.
I feel like- I feel
eventually they're just like, and his name is Normalion.
His name is EV2.
And he's like, hey guys,
Porygon too.
anybody want to play?
Mewtwo.
You too.
Anybody want to play apples to apples, please?
I feel okay. I feel like normal evolution is like the sort of fierce deity mask of the evolutions, where you get all the other evolutions and then you get a normal evolution.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
So what's your? Do you have a?
okay.
Like,
So
what would you like your evolution in the new gen to be?
my 3 favorite types are fighting, ground, and steel.
So what's the evolution?
I would like a fighting evolution in my game, please.
Puncheon.
Puncheon. or a bug evolution, and
Oh, that'd be
its
sweet.
name is BB.
BB.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, my fiance's name is Eve, and I call her Eevee, and Eevee's her favorite, but Leafeon's her favorite Pokemon.
Nice.
So
God.
if there was an evolution in Gen 8, I'd be super into that.
We get it. You like each other.
She'd be so happy, dude.
All
What
right.
about you, Luke?
I'd like to see a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, Ghost would
Yeah.
be cool.
It kind of fits with the Umbreon and Espeon.
Yeah.
But you're wondering, how can you evolve it? There's no stones. Well, you just beat Eevee to death with a brick.
They,
And then you get a spirit. Spooky on.
Spookeon.
the way you evolve it is by having it lose its max HP's worth of damage. So you have to do if its hit points were
Based
100,
on
you would
brick
have to do
hits.
200 damage to it to evolve it.
Or you, because evolutions traditionally evolve when your Pokemon loves you. So you have max friendship with your Eevee, and then it's poisoned, and then you're rushing it to a Pokemon Center, and it dies in your arms.
And then you just it doesn't die in your arms naturally.
You put it out of its misery.
You are rushing it to the hospital, and then you just like a quick X-Acto knife across.
I was gonna say Russian Impossible, and you just stop by the casino just to make some quick pokebucks before
It's
you go
just
to
dying
the
in your arms. Like, it's so Peavy. I got an evolution stone.
For those of you at home, Lucas just beat that Eevee's head in with a stone.
With a brick.
Alright, so...
Sorry, just to wrap up the design thing I was mentioning earlier.
Please do.
The reason I think Generation 8 actually is feeling more a return to form for me is that I think with the introduction of like more computer-generated graphics as opposed to just cartoons, we're starting to be able to like explore art styles that feel real again. I'm not saying that Generation 8 feels real, because it still doesn't, but I think we're getting closer to form as we're able to explore that kind of art style more.
I agree.
That's interesting to me because I would say the most cartoony of the Gen 8 starters is the one you said is your favorite.
For sure, could not agree more. Big old hypocrite in that way, but I agree.
Oh, that wasn't trying to be like a call out or anything.
I know.
But I actually think that kind of thing is going to be sort of like a kind of theme for Gen 8. Like, I do think it's going to be more like kind of hardcore Pokemon game. Because I feel like that's kind of the role that Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu serves, is kind of like one for, sort of like a Pokemon for the kids, and then Sword and Shield I think is going to end up more of like a Pokemon for like the ones that have been playing since Generation 1.
Like, Eevee and Pikachu were like, hold your hand to death, like, games. Like, they were like, we're going to show you how to catch a Pokemon! Like, it was very aggressive in that way, and it kind of annoyed people who played those games, because they were like, I know how the fuck to catch a Pokemon. And I think that this being the first mainline Pokemon game to come out since the Switch's release is going to lead to this being a little bit more like, fucking play Pokemon, you chub.
Because the thing is, even like every Pokemon game teaches you how to catch Pokemon, and
exactly,
it has been redundant for me since Generation 1.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't need that. And Generation 7 was just like half the game's a tutorial.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's what
and Pikachu and Eevee, same thing.
I feel
it's like
walk
with us.
That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
I feel like Pikachu and Eevee is the developers like hearing those complaints and being like, we still feel like we need to have that because like Pokemon's core audience, let's be honest here, is kids.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
and you can sorry.
Like, no, it's fine.
No.
Oh.
Like, sorry, Lucas, chime in, please.
Oh, and like in Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, you can dodge all the Pokemon. Either fucking man up and fight them all, or just turn it off.
Run like a scrub.
Yeah, or
I
just repel.
I don't hate the like seeing the Pokemon in the overworld like a Tales game. I do kind of dislike that you can just avoid every Pokemon fight with it, and I really hate how they do wild Pokemon battles, or in that they don't. But and I'm happy to see that gone. But I do feel like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is like the response to people being like, there's too many tutorials in Pokemon, can we get rid of it? And they're like, we can't get rid of it completely, but we can make like a more casual Let's Go sub-series that like caters to the audience that needs the tutorials.
So we bisect the people who are playing our games.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And so now like they've opened up for the mainline games to be a lot more like focused with less tutorials, more difficult. For Christ's sake, please.
Fucking fingers
At
crossed.
least give us a skip button for the tutorials.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
I can't wait for Pokemon Gun. It's gonna be so good.
I mean, it'll probably be like Pokemon Bow or something, but I hear you.
I mean,
Pokemon Lance.
Helmet.
Oh yeah.
Pokemon Armor.
Pokemon Axe.
Pokemon and my axe.
Pokemon Guillotine.
Pokemon Guillotine.
That's French. This is British. Fuck you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pokemon Tea.
Oh, Pokemon Bow would be really like that would
Pokemon
make sense for British.
Boston Tea Party.
Pokemon Crumpet.
Pokemon Harry Potter.
Pokemon Queen.
Pokemon Queen.
I mean,
You
Pokemon,
play as Freddie Mercury.
Pokemon King, Pokemon Queen might not be too far off, considering how their naming conventions are going.
I
Totally.
think what they're actually going to do is an Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon thing, and just do Pokemon Sharpest Sword, Pokemon Strongest Shield.
Oh, no.
I would not be surprised. And that has been time-stamped right now to the day that we post this episode, so if Nintendo does do that, they owe us money.
TMCR.
Yeah.
TM. Copyright TM. Alright, so for the wrap-up, this has been Taking Credit For. This is your boys, this is the whole channel in one room all together.
For the first time ever.
It's
Yeah.
me, Scott. You can find me at the. It's going to be linked in the whole thing. Sub if you like the video, I guess. Please continue watching. I'm going to pass it on to the left.
This has been Matt Herring. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Matt Herring Live. That's live or live. They're spelled the same way. And I'm gonna keep passing it to the left.
And before the chime in,
All right, I'm gonna yo-yo it back to me.
he's going to also be linked in the subscription for the video. So I mean, click the fucking links, okay? All right.
This has been Ben. I only have Facebook, so you can't have my social media.
but we're gonna link to his Facebook and
We're gonna
link
dox him directly to Ben's Facebook.
No.
We're actually gonna send you invites to his weddings. Let's see what happens.
Oh god.
Nice.
I'm not paying for all of you.
Oh.
I'm gonna throw it to my left.
Okay, so I'm Lucas. You can follow me on Twitter at Lucas DeCoste, all one word. And my Instagram's private, so sorry.
Yeah, go to hell. Lucas's links will be in the video. Thanks for joining us. It's podcast time. Fun times.
I killed an Eevee.
In a world we must defend.